Welcome to this introduction of the Integral Esoteric Yoga online course. Now, yoga in its traditional translation means to yoke or to unite. And of course, in its highest sense, being a spiritual system, this union is referring to a reunion with the Supreme, with the Absolute, however we call the source of all existence. In the traditional treatise Bhagavad Gita, there were 4 yoga systems mentioned. We have Raja Yoga, the royal path, which is helping us to reunite through meditation and focus. We have Jnana Yoga, the path of discernment and knowledge, in which we learn to discern what is real, what is unreal, what is illusion. We have Bhakti Yoga, a path addressing our emotions through boundless love, devotion, and worship. And we have Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action, which is teaching us that with the right attitude, each single activity, even our daily activities, can become a spiritual tool in themselves. Then, of course, we have Hatha Yoga, which was first mentioned in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. And this system is also at the basis of most modern yoga styles. And this system contains the balancing of our being, Ha and Ta, the solar, the lunar, the yang and the yin aspect, through bodily postures, through pranayama, breathing techniques, and also bandhas and mudras. Then we have the Tantra Yoga system, another traditional 1,000-year-old system, which is often described as walking on the edge of the sword, simply because it is including all aspects of life, embracing everything as not being illusion, as on some other traditions we deny the world itself, manifestation, as not being God, not being the Supreme, while on the Tantric path we say everything is God, everything is one consciousness, including the world as it is, so we embrace it fully. Now, what makes this esoteric yoga course really special is that it contains all of those traditional yoga forms in one coherent synthesis. It is most likely the most extensive esoteric yoga course existing nowadays, with 33 years of study containing 48 yearly curricular lessons and comprising a total of 14,500 pages of written course materials. So it's more like an encyclopedia of traditional spiritual wisdom that we can step into. And to combine all these traditional yoga forms has many advantages. First of all, they are kept traditional, so it's not just some trendy inventions. It's really yoga as it was supposed to be, and still combined with the modern science, because yoga is, after all, a spiritual science. And it's left in its traditional form. It's not cut off any of the essential aspects or reduced to a simplicity. You will learn all these pathways, which gives you a spheric, total, round, so to speak, and complete knowledge and accessibility of the entire traditional system. And the advantage is clear. You can easily pick, according to your needs or your preferences or your personality, exactly those aspects that are exactly right for you, either in general or in a specific moment. And why it is also integral is because it includes the subtle energetic dimension of our being. It is often forgotten or just ignored by modern yoga styles, which are exclusively going for the physical bodily effects, just about flexibility and strengthening, but the whole subtle energetic dynamics behind the physical body, the chakra system, the nadis, the energetic channels, they are often not included. Also, this course is esoteric, which means it is covering all the aspects that are beyond the visible. It also makes it an initiatic path. Of course, in the past, this kind of knowledge was passed on from the master to the disciple, and not everybody had access. Nowadays, humanity is already more evolved. We are, as a whole of humanity, more ready for spiritual life, for spiritual tradition, for spiritual orientation. And therefore, such knowledge is now accessible to everybody. Of course, the initiating aspect remains, and the inner readiness is also still in place. Now, yoga is a spiritual science because it can be validated by every person, independent. So you just need to apply the techniques that the yogis have been doing for thousands of years, and you will achieve, of course, given a perseverant systematic practice, you will achieve the same effects as those yogis all achieved. This makes it very scientific because its effects can be reproduced and validated systematically. This systematic approach also is very important because if we want to truly achieve lasting, significant transformations in our life, then our practice has to be systematic. It's not enough to go to a weekend workshop or some weeks of training and expect transformations in us that are really making a difference. But with this form of weekly life classes, you can gradually, step by step, go deeper and deeper, consistently and continuously. In this way, what you learn can settle in you, can become a new habit, can become a new attitude, can become a new lifestyle, and from there can become your first nature. So we could say there is no shortcut in life, there is no blue pill, and transformation cannot be bought. And in order to really make it a reality, this trendy slogan, to be the best version of yourself, there is no way around a perseverant effort and a systematic practice. Now, this course is practical, very practical, and universal in the same time. It's kind of a spiritual toolbox, offering all the techniques and methods that help us, even independent of if we are belonging to a certain religion. It's not a contradiction, because, as I mentioned, yoga is a science, it's a spiritual science, it's not a religion. And it can help us, independent of our belief system, independent of the name we give to the Supreme, to the Absolute, to our Creator. Yoga can offer us a lot of tools that help us to make our individual methodology even more efficient. And it is exactly because it's based on the universal laws and principles that are underlying every single person, every single appearance in the world, every religion. Every aspect of life is based on the same universal laws and principles that function with a mathematical precision. There is no hazard or coincidence in the universe. And one of the important laws that is underlying at the foundation of each yoga system is the law of resonance. And also modern science, the quantum physics, came to the conclusion that everything is vibration. I'm sure you have heard of that. The yogis knew this for thousands of years, and they were very aware that every process is based on resonance, meaning even if you put your body in a certain position, it is through resonance attracting certain effects, certain states, certain qualities in your being. That means by practicing the Hatha Yoga techniques, the asanas, with the awareness of the subtle energetic effects and the awareness of the resonance processes, we can not only achieve these effects, but also much more efficiently. Being in an asana for 5 minutes with that awareness and knowledge can have the same effect like if we would practice that asana for 3 hours in a row, which is often not even possible. And this is again where the ancient yoga system meets the modern science of quantum physics in this case, Because slowly, what yogis discovered in their inner universe, in their own consciousness within themselves, now modern science slowly discovers as well by the observations of the more and more refined experiments, reaching the limitations of the physical materialistic worldview and coming to the conclusions of spirituality. Another principle that is very important to know is the holographic principle, which means that the whole universe is reflected within us. We contain an inner universe within ourselves that we can explore. We have many vibrational layers, we could call them. They are called koshas in Sanskrit, that go far beyond the physical body into our energetic body, the body of prana, into our astral body that we can even consciously experience during lucid dreaming or astral projections. But even beyond that, supramental body, so-called body of bliss, and reaching all the way to our supreme self Atman, whose revelation is after all the goal on the true yoga path. So we could say this course is a creative and practical synthesis that is bringing together the entire treasure of human wisdom into a very approachable and applicable path that is very suitable for our Western life. We could even call it a school for life, which is teaching us the why and how the universe works. Therefore, how and why our life works. And by having this knowledge, we can then be much more responsible for our life, and we have control upon our life and all the situations that happen to us. And one last aspect that makes this course so special is that it's not just a single course. It is hosted within a schooling system. There are many courses, there are many schools in over 30 countries that are all following the same curriculum. That means even if you're an online student here in the online academy, if you get close to a center, or if you one day even move in a city where we have a yoga center, you can join the physical life classes there. But even in between, if there are events in one of our yoga centers, you can go there and join the events. And even if you're just online, kind of home alone, so to speak, you're still part of this community and of the purpose to bring the spiritual authentic teachings back to the world. So what is the structure of this course? This course is, as I already mentioned, an ongoing course that you can join as long as you wish. There is absolutely no requirement that you commit to any period. I mean, 1 month is the minimum subscription period, but you can anytime cancel and stop the course if you don't wish to continue. But if you wish to continue on this path of continuous transformation, you can stay on it. In the case of the yoga course, definitely for more than 33 years for now, and the course is still extending and growing each week. This course is like a spiritual evening school. There are 48 curricular lessons each year that guide you deeper and deeper into this path. The topics cover each aspect of life, therefore will also improve each aspect of your life. And of course, if you want to reach really profound transformations, then it's important to not only practice once a week in the class, but also to start slowly practicing at home. In best case, even a daily practice. In this way, yoga will not just stay a secluded practice, not even only stay a lifestyle, but become really your way of living, will become your attitude, will become your habit, will become the way you are. And in this way, you can really make yoga, or the attitude of being united, into your predominant first nature. Obviously, combining all those traditional yoga forms into one synthetic system, you will learn a lot. In the first year alone, you will learn the very basics, the foundation of the yoga system. You will learn Kriya Yoga, the basic purification techniques. You will learn a lot of asanas. close to 30 asanas just in the first year, including the warming up exercises and the relaxation, which embrace each asana session. You will learn about the subtle anatomy and principles. You will learn about yogic diet. You will learn about the yamas and niyamas, the moral and ethical foundation of the yoga system. It also includes concentration exercises like Shambhavi Mudra and one of the most efficient meditation techniques or methods, Laya Yoga, in which you actually tune into resonance with certain very high aspects, we could even say higher and higher aspects of the universe through a subtle inner sound. And in order to deepen the relaxation, there is also Yoga Nidra, which is called the yoga of conscious sleep. Now, it doesn't mean to literally sleep during the class, but it will guide you into a lucid awareness, which you can use for profound relaxation, but you can even use it to induce astral projections and lucid dreaming. In the second year, you will get to know 20 more asanas. You will have the pranayama techniques and start with the Mahavidya yoga system, getting you closer to the great macrocosmic powers. There are 10. Maybe you have heard of Kali, maybe you have heard of Tara. There are 2 of them, there are 8 more. And it's a wonderful system to get in a real intimate contact with those powers. In the higher years, you also learn about the subtle colors, the law of perfect accomplishment, the law of suggestions. You will take a deep dive into the Svara Yoga system, the system of universal rhythm. You will get deep insights into esoteric astrology, which will help you to learn a lot about your soul. You will learn meridian yoga, using body postures to harmonize all your meridians. You will have very advanced yoga techniques, both from the Hatha Yoga system, but also techniques for astral projection, techniques to reveal your past lives. And I could go on with a much longer list, but for a short insight in this introduction should be sufficient. But you can imagine that along those years of profound study of the traditional systems in their real depths, there is a lot to learn. So, how does a class look like? Well, a class lasts 2 hours, later 2.5. And it always has the practical aspect, meaning you will practice an asana session together with your colleagues under the guidance of your teacher, including the warming up exercises and the final relaxation. And then you have the theory part in which you will learn week by week for half an hour up to 1 hour more theoretical knowledge and foundation in order to advance into the spiritual systems. And of course, there is always time for question and answers, especially after the class, even if sometimes you have personal questions you can ask to your teacher, of course, within a certain extent within the class frame. Now, how will yoga help us? Well, the way yoga improves our life is always based on the same principle. It's always based on the fact that all problems we have, all our stress, our anxiety, our fear, psychological problems, physical disease, it's all based, after all, on the same root, which means a disbalance in one of our structures. If we have a physical disease, it means our body is already responding to an energetic disbalance that has been there for a very long time. Yoga is addressing all these deeper roots on the subtle energetic layers, and by rebalancing ourselves, which can even happen through the knowledge, which can happen through the asana practice, breathing exercises, deep meditation, all of that contributes to rebalancing. And even if nowadays the term balance might be a bit overused, after all, this is exactly what yoga is about, because this state of unity that appears from yoga, and which is the goal of yoga, appears in a state of perfect balance. It's like bringing the plus and the minus, the polarities together. In this way, they neutralize and transcendence appears. So this is the basic mechanism behind it. And rebalancing ourselves will improve our health. It will make us more efficient at work. By keeping balance in our mind, we can much easier focus, we can much easier study. By keeping balance in our psyche, in our emotional life, we have more capacity to love actively, love unconditionally, therefore improving our relationships. By keeping balance in our erotic energies, we will be able to easier master our erotic energies, therefore more fulfillment in our erotic life. So you see, the principle of yoga, these universal laws behind it, when we learn them, when we apply them, they have automatic repercussions in all areas of our exterior life, simply because they are universal principles. Now, who is this course for? Well, first of all, it is very beginner friendly. Even if it contains all these traditional yoga forms, you don't need to have any prior knowledge. It starts literally from zero. When you come to the first class, the introduction lesson, you will hear some very, very basic aspects about yoga. Then you will slowly learn basic purification techniques. You will learn the warming up exercises. You will learn the relaxation exercise. And then you learn your first asana. Every week, in the first year, nearly every week, you learn one more asana. So you're building up your spiritual toolbox, the modalities, methods, and techniques that help you to address all your issues. But then also for advanced practitioners who are already on a yoga path, this course is nevertheless extremely useful, simply out of the reasons mentioned before, because such a vast and coherent synthesis of all traditional yoga forms is unique in this world. So even if you're already experienced, as long as you have curiosity and openness and you're looking for a deeper dimension of yoga practice, you will find for sure something in this course for you. Now, we could also say this course is for people who are looking for a flourishing health and well-being, out of the same reasons as I explained before, because it is simply a side effect, we can nearly say, of a continuous, perseverant, systematic yoga practice. Clearly, it is for people who want to dive deeper into yoga and spirituality because it offers this traditional approach while at the same time being also correlated with modern science. And last but not least, it is for sure for people who are looking for a vibrant community of true spiritual seekers, because this course is part of a yoga school which is available in 30 countries worldwide. So you're not only joining a course in your local gym, no, you really join a spiritual movement of like-hearted people.